Welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're working on some pennants. Okay. I was asked to do a birthday banner for a girlfriend, and I thought, well, how else can we make these just for birthday? We can make them from all sorts of things. So that was in the summertime. So this has been one of the projects I've had for my Christmas as giveaways, because whether you're decorating a kid's room or a party room downstairs in the basement or whatever, or every season for every reason. So I did one for spring, so you can kind of get a good idea, and then I put little flowers on the end. And then if I didn't want to have that out, if it was up against the wall, I could just have this beautiful fabric showing across, you know, my room, my kitchen, my bathroom, whatever I wanted to kind of highlight and make a fun zone. Not the bathroom, you know what I mean. So that's one, and you can reverse. You could have happy birthday on one side and welcome home or something like that. You can do lots of different things. Reverse it, make it a really unique and individual. This one I did here was just some deer and maple leaf and beaver and squirrel fabric here, a bear, and then some whatever, the plaid, the checkered plaid, brain fart in there, is on the other side. So it's just reversible. You could do either way. I just flipped and flopped as I went along, and then just chose the plaid character fabric as my strip piece for the top. You can totally use bias tape. You could use a really thick ribbon, as long as the edges aren't going to fray. And I kept the side bits too and just added it to it. There's no reason for it to be left out. I mean, you can keep one on one side and one on the other, so it's completely up to you. Make the tie short, long, whatever you may need for your party celebration. So the one we're going to do here today, as I have it all set out here, is this is going to be the backside fabric here. So I've got some winter birds, some beautiful winter birds, and then some beautiful cardinals. Okay, so we're going to do 6, so they're just going to alternate. Okay, oh, there we go. And they're going to hang like that. So that'll be the one side of it. And then on the other side, we have white fabric. And I did trace out some letters like I did for the spring. And then I have a couple of little fussy cut or just character cut pieces of snowman that I really like. And I was just going to applique those down onto some, the ones I'm putting on the end, like I did with the flowers for the spring part. So I'm just going to zigzag that, or just even straight stitch it around there. And then I have enough to spell out Noel. Okay, so I traced it out. And I got my L already cut. Okay, and that's what we're going to do today. And again, of course, this beautiful candy fabric from Allison, and we're using that up for this pretty little project. So what I did, I found this is to be very layer cake friendly. So if you have a layer cake you've been trying to fiddle with and have some fun with, this is a great project to do it. It's a great size. That's why I like doing it with that. So this is a 10-inch square. You're going to fold your 10-inch square in half. You can give it a press if you like. It's not absolutely necessary. Take your ruler. Doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest ruler in the hood, but it's a big ruler, and go from corner to where the fold is. So this is the outside corner where the 2 edges are, and you're going to come right down to the corner of the fold, and you're going to make yourself a beautiful exact triangle. And you can of course use the extra bits for something else, for sure. If you want to make more, you can just sew them together, make a smaller one or something, right? So those just go off to the side, and then we have our perfect little triangle. Okay, we'll do it again. And that becomes the other side. And we're going to applique the Noel onto this side. Okay. There we go. Those go off to the side. And here we go. So we have our 2 with our characters on it, with our snow peoples. So let's move that up to the top so we can kind of see them. And that's more to the center. Pop a pin in. And I just have some white thread in the machine. And like I say, you could just do a straight stitch, you could do an applique stitch, you could even stitch this yourself, you could add sequins and buttons and bows, whatever you like. Okay, so those are 2 ready to get stitched, and now we need to cut out the rest of our letters so we can get this going. Okay, alrighty. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's all good. It's been one of those days. Figure we better get back onto Christmas gifts and ideas for people, like we've been trying to do since the beginning of the year. And and this was a really good idea to do all occasions. You can have Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You could have, you know, all sorts of, like I said, you can always make one that says Happy Birthday, and then your, you know, keep the happy, make it very neutral, maybe a red and white, and then you can always add the other ones as different colors to go with happy, because it's always happy something. Happy Easter, Happy Spring, Happy St. Patrick's Day, Happy Friday. Right, so just cutting that out. So what I did is I I wrote out, because you can tell it's my sloppy handwriting, the letters on the shiny side of my fusible web, and then I put it under white paper so I could see it, and then traced it out to the other side so I knew what I was cutting out. Okay. Hey, Mr. Magoo. Oh, no, that's Sophie. I thought it was Mr. Magoo there for a second. Could come say hi? Yeah? You're heading to the office, were you? Come say hi. Say hi to Brother. Say hello. She's such a good doggy. I just love her so much. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Lofi Poppy. Such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Adorable. Nothing better than fur babies. And if you would love to share a picture of your fur baby, if you happen to have a fur baby, please do so at our Mom and Pop Quilt Shop Mafia website. I'm just cutting a circle for the inner part of the O. So I'm just I folded it in half and then just did a little cut. You know, you can come back in and make sure it's, you know, a half decent little curve. I want a little tiny hole. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to make sure we place our letters in the proper spelling order. Depending on how you like your N. I like the N that way. I love the candies. And then I thought with this white fabric that I have would be so cool to make it stand out. So let's pop a few pins in. Just really need to hold it because we're just going to do a little stitch all the way around. I just did a straight stitch on the spring one, didn't I? Yeah, but I zigzagged around the leaves. N-O. And try to get the proper place. If you want to go weird, do up in the top and then down at the bottom. Make sure you're adding for seam allowance and everything like that. At least come a ½ inch to an inch down before you start placing anything. You don't want it to get lost, but you can certainly move them around in the triangle to add some sort of fun and funkiness to it. I mean, you know, limitation is your imagination. Okay, and then we got the E. That is one weird E. Yep, Laura Lynn was here. And then the L. Okay. Thanks, Twitter phone. Okay, all right, so there we have N-O-E-L for Noel. Okay. And you could, if you wanted to spread this out, because Noel is obviously a small word and we want to do like Joyeux Noel, then you could add, you know, blanks in between or feature fabrics or something in between these to spell out something different, to have a little spacer, you know. That's totally, could be totally fun too. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. So we're going to stitch these down first, and then we're going to place these ones on top, and then we're just going to stitch just down like this, and it's really easy, like seriously easy. I need that. All right, let's stitch this. I did some moving stuff around, so hopefully the camera is a-okay and it doesn't bounce too much. Okay, turn it down just a smidge. Okay, and like I said, just doing a nice little straight stitch right close to the edge, because it is fused. It is fused webbing. So, and it's not like this is going to get, you know, washed. It's just pretty much going to hang or sit in a closet till the season and then come back out. Easy peasy, just stitch it all the way around. Of course, you don't have to do this. You can do like anything you want on the sides. You can do like snowflakes or poinsettia leaves or poinsettias or, you know, snowmans. Obviously, like, you know, you can build your own snowman if you wanted to. Want to build a snowman? Well, do you? You could do whatever you like. And of course, like say, birthday, even baby's name announced for the baby room, I think it would be lovely, you know. Let's see, there's so many ideas. Like if you just think about it for a moment, you could think of so many different ideas for this to come to something really beautiful. I think it'd be a nice welcome sign to the kids' party zone sort of thing. Even if you just did bright colors, you don't even have to do anything specific. Or if you just did like, it would be like an I Spy pennant. All different fabrics, different backs and fronts and everything else like that. You can hang in the middle of the room. Yeah, just did a straight stitch, nice, easy straight stitch all the way around. Nothing too complicated. If you want to do an applique stitch, maybe some nice dark red thread would be lovely. Either the zigzag, I think probably an applique stitch would be better, but you know, you do what you want to do and try to make the letters big enough to fit within your triangle. Like you may be doing smaller triangles, you may be doing bigger triangles, depending on the fabric that you have in mind and how big you want your pennant to be. Like maybe you want something to hang out in the yard or the garage or barn, and you want it to be like, you know, as they say, make everything big in Texas. Texas size. Then, you know, don't let your imagination limit you. Just go crazy, go wild, go look for inspiration in books, magazines, coloring books, kids' cartoon programs. You got a grandbaby or a niece or nephew or something like that loves a specific show, doing one like this across the room with some fabric, leftover fabrics, maybe left over from the quilt or whatever. Then go for it. All right, just straight stitching all the way around. I had so many ideas when I came up with this, and of course I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of like, you know, 10 more. So go nuts. You can put bells on the end of them. You can make them look like Santa hats or elf hats, or, you know, it's whatever you like. You could stuff them. Maybe you could make it so it was like a bit 3D. They were the hats on and they were like stuffed as an advent calendar. I mean, crazy stuff. Going up the banister or across the mantle. Somebody write all this stuff down. That'd be a nice little buster for scraps too. You could do them all sorts of different colors, especially if you want to do something crazy for the kids' play zone. You could piece them and just go like lay it out on a base fabric and just cover it up, and that would be kind of fun too, for sure. All the way around in a circle. Okay. And then one more for the inside. Just take your time. Tree stitching all the way around. Just keeping that in there. You could stuff the letters too if you wanted. I think that would be really neat. There's all sorts of little pom-poms, tassels. Okay, so now we have our blocks together. Now we need to make sure they have an appropriate opposite sort of thing. So we need to make sure we're spelling Noel properly. N-O-E-L. That's to me. I know it's not going to be the right way to you, but I can't do it any other way because, you know, just it is what it is. And then here, these two. And then we're going to flip. Okay, so that's okay. The cardinal and the winter bird, and then cardinal, make sure I got it right there, and winter bird, and cardinal, and winter bird. Okay, there we go, perfect. So now that everybody has their back part, we just need to sew down each side, and then we're going to clip off that corner a little bit, and then nip it in a smidgies, and then we're going to take our lovely little turning tool It's got a point, or you can use a dull pencil. I wouldn't suggest scissors if they're really sharp. Maybe rounded scissors would be okay. Crochet hook, a knitting needle, anything like that, or chopstick, a skewer. One of those, anything like that, but don't be kind of gentle with it. I'd use the blunt and not the pointy end of the skewer. So, all right, let's put a little pin in everybody just to kind of keep them all together. I know they're just triangles and we got to go down one side and then next, but let's just make sure everybody's in the pool together. Okay, there. It's so on the white side. It looks like maybe the white is just a smidgy widget. Well, since we applique on them, they may just pull in those fibers from the material, even though we just did a little bit of an applique, pulls in the fibers just a little bit. So, okay. So sew on the white side, and of course I'm just using plain white thread. You could use a decorative thread if you wanted something to, you know, be seen, or once pressed, you could certainly sew down again each side to give it that, you know, really kind of finished feel to it if you wish. If you really wanted to, you could just sew them together, or you could even put the bias tape on the outside if that was something you had a lot of and wanted to make the top ribbon part look like everything that was surrounding all the letters and the characters of the pennants. Pennant, not pennants, I apologize. No pennants for you people today. All right, so now we just got to do them down on each side, okay? And just a 1/4 inch seam allowance, nothing too exciting. Just the same old regular. Just sew them all. And if you have like the one up behind me, I'm actually going to hang it right, well, because Halloween's over, I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to hang it up here in the quilt shop going behind, so it can just kind of hang around. And then I'll put the Noel closer up to Christmas. And the Noel will be given away as one of the, we got many gifts given away. We've got 3 big quilts going, and it'll be a couple of smaller gifts as well. So this will be one of the smaller gifts. This one right here. Love the winter bird fabric. That's beautiful. I think I may have got that from Jo Marie. I'm not sure. She was actually just here. She came to pick up her fall quilt and dropped off all the other characters for her Elizabeth Hartman, you know, Neville the Narwhal, Willa the Walrus, Meredith the Muskox, all that sort of stuff. So I just got to put some sashing in between them and then put the backing together. She's left that to me as a little project to do, and yeah, I'm so excited for that. So excited for that. It's a beautiful project. It's a stunning quilt. I love all the characters, and she picked from her stash and fabrics that she had to make them all up, and I love the mix of grays and stuff. I love it. I love it. And I love that they're all personalized. They all got their name on them. That's the best. That's the best thing ever. So, and she's keeping this for her. So, and I get to quilt it up. She said, I trust you, and I trust your judgment. So I'm going to, you'll see that as a longer Wednesday. So at least a little sample. So, there we go. It's very pretty. Very, very pretty. And I just loved her fall. That was one of my favorite fall projects I think I've ever done. Her fabrics were stunning, and go away, fly. And then with the embroidery, just set it right off, for sure. You know, every little character has a name now. You know, Fritz and Fred the Fox. That's my favorite. Fritz and Fred the Fox and Neville the Narwhal. Okay, there we go. That. And here. And just one more to do. And then we get to turn them right side out. and then line them up against the little binding. So what I cut is, because I like oh, we're just gonna do one or two more. There we go. Just so it lines up properly, so we get a nice seam allowance there. I cut it at 2 inches because I didn't have any bias tape, and I didn't want to go get any bias tape when I could really accent the pennants. So I thought I'd just use my own fabric, but if you had bias tape on hand and wanted to use it, by golly, have at her. And I cut it at 2, so I cut my stuff. Oops, took the pin out too soon. Cut mine at 2. And then we folded it in half, and then folded those halves in to make like the bias tape here, okay, just like that. So I folded the fabric in half and then in on itself, and then pressed it. So I'm sewing along one side, and then I'll flip and sew along the other. It's very easy. It's a very simple fun project. It's a great way to maybe bust your scraps for a kid's project for their room, or you're having just a special day with the little one, and this would be a fun little project to do just for them. Just for them. Like I said, the birthday one was a very special, unique fabric and name. So, and I asked if I could show it, and she said no. But that's okay. That's okay. So I said I'll just take the idea and go a different way with it. So I always ask people if I could show their stuff. Because some people don't want their stuff shown. Or they don't want their name shown. So that's all right. To each their own. Okay, so I trimmed off the top a little bit on each side. And then what we do is we take the little corner, take a little finger, or, our tool, whatever you want to, whatever is happy, chappy for you. Okay, and then just poke it out. Try and get as close to a point as possible, okay? You really want to try and make sure you're getting a point as possible. And hopefully you can see that on the sew camera there. And then once we have our little bits this way, we're going to give them a little press, okay? So here, let's move that. Let's do everybody with their little clip and trim. And I'll just poke them this way, and then I can poke them better afterwards. Let's get them all done first. It's just less bulk in the tip of the pennant, okay? So it gets that nice, crisp, clean point. Okay. Nippy haircut. One more. And of course, if you were doing like happy Halloween or happy birthday or happy anniversary or anything like that, you do happy, and then anniversary would be another one, or happy Halloween. Obviously Halloween could be, a couple. You could do just a pumpkin and stuff. Halloween's a big word. Right, just poke all those little tips right out, so you get the very tip of that triangle, okay? And hopefully I spelt it right. And all my colors are in the right order. You don't have to mix and match. You could have just one color. You could, just do the white in the lettering, and because if it's a busy background, like some of this, the cardinal, I'd probably would use a nice big red fabric to make the red stand out, or even a black or a gray for the lettering, for sure. Oh, I thought maybe for a second there I sewed my snowman upside down. I was like, no. Okay, they're all poked. This could be poked out a little bit more. All right, now let's clean that out. And okay, we're going to give these just a little quick press, and then we're going to line them up on here. Find our center, because I put 2 strips of 2 together, and I've got 6 pieces here, so I'd have to do the center pieces on either side of that. Like the 1, 2, and 3 would be here, and 4, 5, and 6. So we're trying to even it out between this strip. So let's give this a quick little press here. And like I said, if you wanted, you can sew down on either side to highlight it, you can do a decorative stitch, or you can put those, that's where, you sew on the sequins or beads to catch the light, if it's the party pennant. Everybody needs a party pennant. You know, you come to somebody's birthday party and you've already got this big, huge banner to give or hang up. I'm sure they'd be quite welcome for that. It's like, why, thank you so much. And you can use it for so many peoples. And if you got the happy and you're doing other stuff, you can keep the happy and, you know, happy Halloween, happy New Year, happy birthday, happy. Happy chappy. All right, now, okay, so we're spelling Noel. So we're going to have N over here, and O and E are on either side of that halfway line part. Now, you can give a little space in between. You can butt them up right next to each other. You could have a gap and put a button for decorativeness once you're done. Like, you just put it over and then you put a little button in there. Like, really, it's whatever's, your mind is only the one that's limiting you. So, you know, ask for ideas, ask the kids for ideas, if you really want to go out and have some fun. Okay. And there we go. I'm just going to spell that out just like that, and then we're going to pin it in the proper spots. Okay, start with the O and the E, and we're pinning it to the bottom part of that fold, that 1/4 fold that's coming up. Okay, we're just pinning it to the bottom part, and I'm leaving a little bit of a gap in between. I'm going to say like about maybe a 1/2 inch between each letter, because I just want them to hang very similar to what I have going here. Okay, there's just a little bit of space in between the letters. Not a lot, just a smidgy-widge. And yes, that is a form of measurement. Smidgy-widge. Look it up. We're very excited to be starting our new Christmas project tomorrow. This is going to be a gift that'll be given away to the viewers of the channel. So a gift for you guys. It'll be Christmas gift number 2 for you guys. We're such givers. And Jo Marie's happy to hear that we were starting it on Saturday, because that was her project. She gifted to us. She goes, do what you want with it. Okie dokie. Until we give it away to you. I love the cardinals. I know lots of people love cardinals too. And it's a very Canadian sort of feel to it. I'm sure it's North America in general, but to me, I feel it's a very Canadian sort of thing. So it's be nice to be able to give something that has that special touch or special feeling for Pop and I and Munchkin away to one of you guys. That's, you know, a little touch of home given to your home. Okay. And once that's all pinned up, we're just going to do a nice little easy straight stitch to stitch that down first, and then we're just going to flip this top over and seal it all up, and that is it. Easy peasy Christmas gift. And especially, like, if you know somebody who loves a certain season, like they love spring or they love Canada Day or the Saint Independence Day. I mean Independence Day. There's many. Of course, all your countries have a special day to honor itself. So, you know, you could always make a lovely one and bring it out every year. All right, so just a straight stitch. Easy peasy all the way down. Just trying to keep the bottom, we're just pretty much attaching the top of the triangle, the very wide part of the top of the triangle, to the one of the sides of the, I guess, you could use ribbon, like I said. I just called it a binding at this point because it's very similar to a binding. So you're binding the edges, but you're also making a ribbon to attach. It's a twofer. Okay, here. And they don't have to be big. They don't, and they could be many, you know, you could put many sizes depending on the space you got going on. I would decide what size you're going to go on. You could use this definitely even as a charm pack, but I would find the letters very small to go onto the charm pack, the little 5-inch squares. So, you know, you could maybe even just pick up those iron-on letters that are embroidered. You could iron those on and stick them to them afterwards, after you did your folding of your triangles and sewing and stuff like that, so they wouldn't be actually in the way. You could always just add it afterwards. There's lots of iron-ons or even buttons. I think a collection of buttons hanging from them would be kind of neat too. Every triangle's got a different color. Make it like I said, they're pockets for advent calendar or a monthly calendar sort of thing. All right, so now we have that attached just like that. And then we're just going to go back right from the very beginning, fold that over, and then sew that down too. Okay, so we've got to go all the way to the very end. Here we go. Flip that in on upon itself, sealing up those 2 raw edges. Okay, just sealing up those 2 edges right together, and then just do you could, like I said, there's another time you could do a decorative stitch, a zigzag stitch, one of your favorite stitches on the machine. It's up to you. I'm just going to use a straight stitch because I think anything else would just be lost within the candies. Just line this up. You can always flip and pin or do a press or whatever you need to do. I was just kind of flipping it and holding it and stitching down. Just trying to line it up the best you can. Tuck any raw edge, make sure any raw edges are in. Seal them up. Be a good way to do a gender reveal party. That would be kind of cool. Big banner. Go. Almost there. This cute little project's done. It doesn't take too much time. Like I said, nice and layer cake, afternoon with the kids. Very fun project. They can design things to go on the triangles, especially if the end ones. If you want to, like, say Happy Halloween, you can have one do a ghost and the other one do a pumpkin or a witch or a frog, a broom. That's my ride. Okay. Little gingerbread men, that would be cute, especially everybody's family name. There we go. There's an idea. Little gingerbread men with family names underneath of them, or at least initial or something like that. This cookie's bad. I'm kidding. Don't do that. This is a good cookie. In reference to people. Or little elves, like I say, elves hats with names on them. You could do that too. It doesn't always have to be just, you know, an announcement sort of thing, right? Okay, there we go. Oh, I love that. Oh, how did I get that out of order? Uh-oh. Oh, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. I had the snowman switched around, so that's okay. It's all good. It'll still be pretty, won't it? I'm not changing it now. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, where we're going to start our very beautiful project right here, the cardinals. And like I said, it's project number 2 to get given away to you guys. So 1 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays. We are here to have fun and entertain and have a good time with you. So please join us and have a great day. Take care, everybody. Big hugs from us at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop.